Mic check 1 2 1 2. How you doing, everybody? I'm your host, Mikal Butler. Today is my first guest. This is my brother right here. It's my brother Jalil. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, y'all?
Yo. So today I brought him in to give some insight on the topics we're talking about today and give a bit of a different perspective than my own. So like I said, the topic for today we're going to be talking about change. And not only change, but adapting to change and accepting change into your life, because change is a part of life and how we progress as people. So, as always, my book. To me, this is a very interesting and relevant topic, especially now when we as people are faced with nothing but change. I guess the best way to start is by defining change. Change is something out of your regular life or routine or way of life. Most people are afraid of change, terrified of it even. That's only because they have no knowledge of the outcome of change. What do you think about that, bro?
No, it's legit. It's funny that you said, because I was thinking about this, I think, yesterday, and I was thinking about, getting out of your comfort zone. I made a post on my Snapchat, and I felt like I snapped when I posted it, I'm not gonna lie. Because, if you go out of your comfort zone, you know what I mean? You can expand your comfort zone.
Word.
But people don't
like
get
that. I really like that. It's funny that you bring that up. See, now some might say that they like the way things are, so there's no need for change. For example, let's say I filed papers, and I thought of the most efficient way possible that anyone could think of to file papers. Why would anyone want to change that? I'm proud of my new system. I've worked hard on it, and it works. Then boom, out of nowhere, the computer is invented. Suddenly, people file papers in an instant. Now, my job seems useless. My idea is trash. My high life comes crashing right back down.
Garbage.
Everything's just trash. But do I sulk? No, I'm not going to sulk. I'm going to learn this new skill. I'm going to learn about computers and about filing in instant. That way, I'm able to adapt to this new change and overcome it.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people actually probably had a life like that. At one point, computers weren't a thing, and then out of nowhere, boom, they were created just like that.
They was probably mad though.
They were probably
like, hey, y'all gonna like this. Oh, where?
They're pretty upset. That's probably a couple few hundred people in reality.
They sick, bro. I'm sorry, that's kind of funny to me. Continue.
They're probably pretty mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. So maybe change comes in that kind of way, whether it be a change of job or a change in lifestyle, pretty much for that kind of person. But maybe change comes in the death of a family member. My point being, something inevitable. Change is part of life. And we can either accept it and become better or be stuck and be stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring to light a word that I used earlier. Well, I didn't use this word earlier, actually. I should have said the word. So the word I was going to use was progress. Okay. So now progression is not possible without change. With whatever you do, you need to change to get better. For example, very simple in general, riding a bike or, learning how to swim. Before you knew how to ride a bike, you had to learn how to balance on two wheels. Mm-hmm. You had to change the way you thought or perceived what balance would be like on two wheels. And once you were able to achieve that, you're able to ride a bike more efficiently, or ride a bike in general. Another example, like I said, would be swimming. So you wouldn't be able to swim unless you change your mindset to not panic when you're in water, and also change your form to go from an open hand to a closed hand. That way you're able to actually swim through the water.
It's funny how difficult that can be.
It can be difficult, but we did it.
Yes, black people can swim.
So my point being, you gain skills through change and progress as a person. All right, Mikal, I get it. Change makes you better, I guess. What does that have to do with me, right? So for my peers, high schoolers, and even some people who are older than me, they are afraid of change. I would implore them to not be afraid of change. And I mean this in the sense of relationships and items. And especially, for us personally, I can tell that, you know, you've been through this and I've been through this, and we've had, you know, relationships that, you know, have seemed, you know, toxic or seemed to be something that we thought we liked, but as soon as it changed, you know, we didn't really. I know you know, and I had friends that, you know, they're like, oh, you know, this and this happened, we're not friends anymore, or this and this happened, and you know, we broke up. And some people are so not willing or unwilling to change or realize, you know, the reason why it didn't work, you know, might actually be the thing that's been holding you back all this time. Any thoughts on that?
I don't know why I just had the random thought, like, relationship wise, for some reason, I don't know, I'm kind of stuck on that part.
Wonder why?
You can change, right? So, like, let's say something happened in a relationship and it's your fault. For example, let's just say it's your fault. All right? You can learn what you did wrong and then change. Does not mean you got to go try again with the same person. Take what you learned somewhere else. Somebody who would appreciate that.
Makes sense. Relationships come and go. Friendships, boyfriends, girlfriends. Don't stick to a toxic relationship if it's hurting you. Easier said than done, I know. Even better, if it's not hurting you, but you get nothing out of it, maybe it's time to move on. You know, your life should be focused on being the best person that you can be. You know? So don't let the fear of change, of the unknown, stop you from being your best you. Don't let someone else hinder you from becoming your highest self.
Don't let a girlfriend stop you from finding a wife.
Or a boyfriend stop you from finding a husband. So what you need to do is you need to evaluate your life, evaluate your relationships, right? And understand that even though, okay, you know, we're cool, we're friends, you know, we get along together well, but you know what? I'm at this point in my life and I'm not moving forward. You're not really doing anything for me. It might be time for a change. Every experience is a lesson. We don't take L's, we learn lessons. Einstein said something one time. He said, anyone who does the same thing and expects a different result is the exact definition of insane. That is true insanity, and I personally agree. How am I going to, let's say, you know what? Mom gave a good example, too. Our mom gave a good example. I was speaking to her, you know, about it the other day when I wrote this. She said that, you know, why would I continuously run into a wall? How much longer am I going to run into the same wall before I think of a new way to get past it, you know? Think of new options to get past it. Until I look to my left and see there's a door right there, you know? So you can continuously do what you're going to do, but you're never going to get anywhere because you already have seen the results of what it is. Now, there's a difference between that and trying to achieve something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going out to, you know, let's say I want to get better. I play football, right? So if I want to get better at my breaks, you know, obviously that's practicing the same thing.
Right.
But you should also change what you're doing that way.
I'm about to snap one.
All right, go ahead. Snap one time.
So hear me out. If you want to run faster, right? What do?
Change your form.
Do you? Or do you just run more? Ideally. That's fine, but let's not look too deep. You look too deep into something, you're going to make it more complicated than what it really is.
Okay, let's simplify it. Go ahead.
You're running. At the end of the day, you're running. You're moving your legs fast.
Of course.
If you want to move faster, you have to move more, right?
Okay.
Some people call that insane.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. If you want to get faster, you can do that. I think you can do something and improve, but to really excel at it, you'll have to change something. You know what I'm saying? For example, you use running, right? So, granted, I think running was a great example. So, if you're running, right? Granted, you know, track athletes, we run all the time, constantly. You know, you're always running because that's what's going to make you faster. I mean, granted, there's a lot of other things that go into that. Running, strengthening, conditioning. Let's face it, we do a lot. But, you know, while you're running, you know, the first thing before you're running, you have to change your technique. You have to change your form. You have to change the way you think about a race. You know what I'm saying? I'm mentally preparing differently for a 100-meter race than I am for a 200-meter race because there's a longer distance there. I have to run that race differently. The 100-meter, I'm like, all right, I get out, boom, start, go, go, go. The 200, I'm like, all right, I have my start, I have my turnover, I have my sprint phase, I have my finish. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different phases to that race rather than the 100-meter where it's like, all right, I'm trying, or the 60-meter indoor even, where I'm just trying to get out and go. You know, there's different ways of looking at that. But that's a great example. I like that example. So what you need to do is change yourself and change your way of life. There's something out there that you haven't discovered yet. Just because it's done well doesn't mean it's done at the most efficient way possible. I'm sure my older viewers can vouch for this. I'm sure they've been in relationships, friendships, or otherwise, where afterwards they found something better, or they've changed something about themselves, to where they're able to enjoy their own personal company as well as figure out what they're looking for in a relationship. Okay, so key points of this, right? Don't be afraid of change. Always accept it. Change will only make you better. Progression should be a person's biggest goal. So change should be your new best friend. Accept change whenever it comes and make things better. Now, never repeat the past. Bad changes do come. You have to recognize bad changes from good changes. Well, what?
Is it really ever a bad change if you're always learning and gaining knowledge?
Exactly. You're always going to learn from that experience. Bad things, now this is me being a bit of an optimist, bad things are only considered bad if you perceive them to be that way. Right. Your bad situation could be a great situation for someone in, let's say, a third world country. Let's say, dang, my phone just died. There's a dude out there that's like, it's like, you have a phone? What's that? They might not even know what a phone is. So it's like putting things in perspective for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my challenge to you as viewers is to not shy away from change when you see it. Try new things. Try to do things differently. Think differently and open up your mind to make yourself the best you that you can be. What do you think about that, bro?
I think change all starts in the mind. That's what I think.
That's true. You can't change anything without changing your own mindset first.
Right. So ideally, I feel like to help you with change, you should start with changing your thoughts, because thoughts turn into words. Joking around with your friends or something, and next thing you know, thoughts turn into actions, and now you're doing something, and you are what you do, right?
Yeah. Actions speak very much so louder than words. They speak way louder than words, and speaking things into existence is also true. You can joke around doing things with your friends time and time again, and then one day you guys get crazy enough to be like, wait, let's actually do it.
Right. Manifestation is definitely real. It is. It's just how things
that can be a beautiful thing, but also a very dangerous thing. There's people that talk about some real crazy stuff in this world, and they're like, you know what, like, oh, that's crazy. Then 2 years down the line, they're on the news doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of recognizing what you're saying, who you're saying it to, your own audience, and also perceiving what they're sending back to you. Are those messages something that I should be wary of? You should always be looking past, friendships, and I've spoken about this earlier, displacing yourself emotionally, that way you're able to think logically about a certain situation and what people are talking to you about.
A lot of things are easier said than done, but
of course.
For the people that do know me, you understand, like, what, back in high school, I was just angry all the time. Don't know why. It is what it is. But now I'm nothing like that at all, and you can tell by my Snap stories and stuff like that too. So like, I feel like, if I can make a change, you definitely can too. That's just how I feel.
Change is a part of life. Accept it. Move forward. Get better. Don't stay in your one-end job. Don't just think that, all right, I have this one career. This is how I'm going to live. This is how I'm going to make money. There are a bunch of ways to go out, make money, do things with your life, do crazy things with your life, And that might not mean, now I'm not saying, live every day like, it should last. I mean, I think you should. I think you should. You never know when it's going to end. But, however, what I am saying is that there are things that you could be doing to better yourself, and you never know what those things could be.
You never know what you're going to be good at until you do it.
Until you try it.
I started off, skateboarding. All right, I started off doing football, went to skateboarding, ended up cheerleading in high school, got nationally ranked. Oh, bro, it was lit. That's not the point. And then also ended up doing rugby. Those are 4 different things I ended up doing.
Completely different things. And let me tell you something. He was good at every last one of them.
Like,
every one of them. And there's not many guys, and like every one of them he was good at. And it's not because, he worked his butt off to be good at those things, but he wanted to try something new. And you know what? And it's funny because growing up, I was like, yo, why are you doing this? It's so weird. But now I look at it, I'm appreciative of it, because he was able to, go away from the status quo and do his own thing, you know, make himself a better person despite what people might have said or were telling him. So that's
So to sum it
solid
up,
stuff.
he's me if I decided to keep playing football, and I'm him if he was more open-minded.
I'm pretty open-minded, I think.
I mean, not then. That's why you play football forever.
I play football because that's a sport. Shout out to my football bros, you know. Shout out to the football family. All right, man. All right, look. So that's the end of our conversation today. I do have a question. This is part of our Q&A section right here. This is actually a question that I got for last week's podcast, but unfortunately, I apologize. I missed it. Excuse me while I find it real quick. So the question said, what were the sparks or the spark that ignited your interest in doing podcasts, or was there not one at all?
Spreading the word.
I've always kind of felt, you know, connected to a deeper side of me, but it never really, you know, like came out. I kind of always suppressed it because I'm like, you know, I'm like 13, 15 thinking, you know, why was I put on this planet? You know, are these things, you know, really real? Are people telling me things? Are they truth or are they lies? That's a lot of stress to put on your shoulders as a young teenager. You know what I'm saying?
So I feel like everybody's gone through it. People just don't say shit about it.
People do
It's crazy because you look at social media now on Instagram, looking at memes and all this shit, and I keep seeing this post. I don't see it as much as I see everything else, and I think that's because people really undermine it. But so there was this post on it was Instagram. It was a tweet, but you know it was on Instagram, whatever, and it said the more I look at social media, the more I realize we all kind of just live the same life. You know, guaranteed in different locations and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we all can relate to more than what we think. That's why we all like memes. Like, we all do. Like, if you don't like memes, you're probably weird or you just don't know that it's a meme. That's all I can really say.
I'm not a big meme guy like he is, but
but you like memes at the end of the day.
They're hilarious, but that's beside the point. Anyways, back to me, right? So what got me to start doing the podcast actually was I actually had a teacher who is, shout out Father Dan. Anyone who watches and knows him, you already know. Shout out Father Dan. He kind of pushed me to kind of be more of a social activist, and that's kind of what my end goal is. You know, I want to try to change the world. I want to, you know, make social reform happen, whether it be on, you know, an American platform or on, you know, hopefully a global stage, because, you know, we all have social issues, you know, going on around the world, and I want to try to help fix them, whether it be in a large way or a small way, at least start to take those steps. So it's always been kind of something in me that I wanted to do, but a podcast, honestly, a podcast is just the start of it. This is just me taking baby steps, because, and it's not always something that, you know, I want to do, but I knew that I had to do something to get my voice out, and I thought that this would be a very productive way for me to try to do that. But, you know, at the end of the day, my goal in life is to make the world a better place. That's what I want to do. That's what I feel like my goal in life is. If I don't, you know, do something to make this world better when I leave, then I failed myself. And that's the only person that I can really fail. I can't fail anyone else but myself. And I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to, you know, be 80 years old and be like, dang, you know what? I wasted my 20s. I don't want to do that. You know, there's people that, you know, grow up and they're like, you know what? I could have done this better, or I could have done this more. And thankfully, I'm blessed enough to where I was able to foresee that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way I thought, I was able to look inside myself and find my own passion, find what I want to do.
That's where all the answers are. Bro.
And that's where all the answers. And people, that's why I started this whole thing, because people our age don't think about that. They're not able to think about it, and they won't think about it until they're 35, 45, 50, and at that point it's too late. It's too late at that point. You've already lived half your life. You missed your prime. You know, I don't want to do that.
You'll just have to try again in the next one.
Try again in the next one. But yeah, so basically I guess it was kind of a culmination of different sparks. Me being who I am, and, you know, having someone, a mentor, to kind of teach me and push me through to the right direction. And then it kind of ended up being this one small step as of now that hopefully will become much, much bigger in the future. So
one small step for man.
One small step for man. Pretty much. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Shout out my brother for being on this today. Thought you did a great job, bro. Appreciate you.
I think I did
You
alright.
know what I'm saying? So
But this also inspired me to start making podcasts. So
I do this.
watch
I want
out
to
for
inspire
that.
people.
I might do that.
You might.
I might do this.
Be
if
wary
you follow
of
me
his,
on
though.
Snapchat, you already know.
It's not gonna be like mine, so be wary of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. it's
But,
gonna be different.
Anywho, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I said, I want to make the world a better place, so please let this go out to as many people as possible. I do appreciate your questions. I apologize to the dude that, male or female, I'm sorry, I really don't know, who sent the question earlier and I didn't get to look at it. I apologize for that. I'll try to be more on top of things. This is still a little bit new for me. But please send in your questions. I really do appreciate them. Thank you guys. Nick out.